cinnamon cake. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back again to another portion of the show. What are we doing today? Yes, Earl's here. Bastard. He's a sneaky dude. What are we doing? Well, we got to put we got 12 frets in this guitar. We got to put 8 more in it, and we'll start at the 13th fret and work down here to the 20th. And I was just looking at this fret wire. It does match the same wire he's put in there thus far, so this is good. The frets are kind of tarnished, but it don't matter because we're going to have to level these frets and crown them and dress them and radius them, do all that crap to them once we get them all in. So I'm just going to hold the fret up here about where I think it needs to be, and hold it with my fingers and cut it off right there. Maybe go a little bit farther than where I think I need to go. And before I do this, I got a brace jack here, okay? Y'all seen those before. I've used them for years. And because this fretboard extension comes over the top of the guitar, there's a brace under there. Right there it is. But, you know, I'm going to put a little bit more support on there because I don't want it to receive too much shock from the hammer. I mean, it's not like I'm going to beat the living shit out of it. Here's the hammer. A jeweler's hammer will work. But, you know, I just don't like inflicting all that shock onto the guitar. And I want to move this up here, too, to help support the area we're working. But I'm just going to put this little brace inside, screw it up, and have a little bit of extra support there. Let me bring you over here closer, and we'll get right into this right away. Give you a close-up shot here. I've already put one fret in, got another one cut, and it's going in tight. But that's what you want, man. You want them to go very tight. Yeah, kind of the way I'm doing it, kind of starting it on the end and letting it stick out a little bit farther than I need. See what I mean? You got to get that end started down in there pretty good. That's a lot better. And then just hammer across. Make sure that end stays down as you work your way across it. You want to make sure that fret is seated and flat to the fretboard, and on both sides, I see from looking at the back side here, this side needs to go down a little bit more. You know, depending on your fret slot and your tang, some of them you got to drive pretty good. Like I say, you don't want to beat the shit out of it or anything like that. I'm hitting it rather hard right there. There it went down and this side came up. So there we go. Much better. Like I say, I'm just leaving the camera. I think it's good enough to see it. All I'm doing here, laying the fret wire down, leaving a tiny bit stick out over here. And then I'm getting a hold of it with my fingers exactly where I want to make the cut. And that would be right there. It's not a very good sight for you, is it? But as I've said so many times before, I got to be the one that sees here, really, when it boils down to it. And that is absolutely perfect. Show you one more. Let me back you off a little bit for this one. I'm liable to rupture an eyeball or something, man. This is a very slow process too. Normally, I to get each end of the fret started and then drive the middle down. And what that does, if you cut your fret just a little bit long, it drives the center down in and drives the ends outward. You know what I mean? Drives them out, you know, these little teeth or whatever they're called on the tang, they go down into the wood and then they're shoved, you know, outward, one that way and the other end this way. And that just helps it to dig in a little bit better, a little bit tighter. A lot of people like to use glue on these. I really don't care for that. If you got the right fret slot is right and you have the right tang frets, and you should not need to use glue. But a lot of people do, and it's alright. It's just an extra precaution, I guess. Okay, we want to cut that right there. Actually, I can come in a little bit with that one. Cut him right there. And here you go. Lay it on, see if it looks like it's going to be long enough to stick out on both ends. And it is. It's good. Good, as Frankenstein would say. Alright. Headphone lovers, I bet you're really having some fun about right now. Very accurate with this hammer. If you ever do this, be alert, awake. This one before it popped up a little bit. Here we go. Just be very alert and very awake and watch what you're doing very closely. Let's say you can screw this up, man. If you miss with that hammer and hit the top or the fretboard, then you got more work to take care of. So that's what I'm doing right now. I won't bore you to death. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 more to go. Won't bore you completely to death with this. I'll bring you back when we get ready to smooth these fret edges. This guitar, where it was so dry and shrunk, I can feel some fairly sharp edges on these frets that are already done. We'll go over the whole thing, make them all nice and even and uniform. And beautiful. Hold on. By the way, some of you guys asked, Eric was one, I remember, and there was a couple others, why I did not put the frets in the fretboard extension, you know, and had the neck off. Well, it would be easier to work on. I could have laid this over something flat and beat them in there, sure. But I waited until I got the neck set, because when you drive that many frets in that close together, and your tang goes down in that fretboard, and it puts like forces a back bow into the fretboard. You know, just by the space of the tang being driven down into that slot forces the wood apart, and it creates a back bow there. So that's the only reason I waited till, you know, I had the neck set and the glue dried and everything before I put these frets in, the frets over the fretboard extension. Just wanted to point that out because several of you guys asked me about that. Alright, now I got my file depth set. I hit it a couple times there, not very many. Headphone lovers, beware, because here it comes. This is really noisy here, especially when you first start. You want to be very careful. You know, you don't want to set this on there and just file the shit out of it like that. You want to be very, very careful and alert to what you're doing. And I only want to hit the frets that we put in. I don't care about these up here right now. We'll get to those though. Just not right now. You can hear how rough that is. I can already see it. And I can come down this other way too. I can hold on to that. I can't see it that way without moving a bunch of stuff. So I keep doing it this way. main thing is to be very careful you don't bite into the top with the file. You don't even have to apply pressure with this because it'll do it itself. The main thing is to try to hold the file where you want it without getting into the top of the guitar. And take your time. Just to show you, once you get these worked down, where you can go completely up the entire fretboard and doing the whole thing, because like I said, I could feel sharp edges on the frets that were in there. I'm just starting here, back here, and coming all the way up the fretboard and back now. It's a smooth, continuous motion. And like I said, you don't want to get into this number with this thing because you'll eat your files completely up. Just, you know, keep it flat on the fretboard as you can. Doesn't take very long with this file. I already did the other side. I only hit it a couple of licks here again. Eliminates all of the sharp edges to a 35-degree angle. But you just got to be very, very, very careful with this file. You can really do some damage with it. One slip and you know you got just made more work for yourself. Alright. Let me bring the camera over here and I'll show you. Hold on. Show you what's going on. I got a long enough cord here. Yeah, sorry about that. Here you can see, yeah, I should have swept the dust off of it, but you see that little angle it puts on the frets. Now I don't feel anything at all except dust, but you can see what I'm talking about. Now these frets look like they're popped up. That's the shadow from the light up here above us. They're not popped up, so just wait till the light's hitting them. But you see what a nice job that does. Yeah, I should have swept it off. These are down at the sound hole frets. And the thing glides right over top of them. Here's the shot of the other side, if I can get it for you without. Yeah, I think you can see that angle on those frets. No sharp stick outs anymore. Let me sweep it up and we'll get a better view of it. Sweep it off good. Now maybe you can see. I can hold the camera. Oh, here you go. This might work. Maybe you can see that 35-degree angle now on the side of the frets. And of course this side, same thing. The light's not all that good on that side, but it looks very much better except for where I hit the tops of the frets with the file. But like I say, that's not a problem. We're going to redo all those frets anyway. I got to change lenses too so you could see this better. Now we just need more light, I think. I think you can see that okay. 35-degree angle. It even takes a tiny bit of edge off your fretboard right there. I like that. That's when you know when to stop. When it starts doing that, then your tangs are smooth and you don't feel anything. From when you see it start to cut into that fretboard right there, stop. That's where you stop there. Don't go any farther. That fret's got a lot of glue under it. Like I say, the way the light is here, it looks like that fret looks like it's pulled up. It's not. I saw several of them that did. I took a razor blade, tried to stick it under them. They're not pulled up. It just looks that way. One problem. It might be a real problem too. Every acoustic guitar I have ever seen, if it's a 12th fret or a 14th fret, this one's a 14. This 14th fret that meets at the body joint, if you look, that fret should meet on this side of the body, okay? The fret right here is inset from that side of the body. Man, I can't get the light right. Look at your own acoustic guitars. The 14th, well, if it's a 12th fret, this will be the 12th fret at the body joint. If it's 14th fret, it will be the 14th one. Duh. But that fret, see how it comes past the edge here of the guitar. Same thing on this side. See that? Yeah, I can show you better here. The center of this fret, the very fret slot itself, should be up here at the very edge of the body. It's not. Do you know why? Well, because this is the wrong neck for this guitar. When we said it all along, I know it's not the right neck for it. But you can see what I'm talking about. That's going to, that could present some interesting intonation problems. We'll see when we get it strung up. I don't like that, man. See what I mean? The fret slot itself in the center of the fret should line up with the very edge of the guitar. It's probably, that's probably 1/16, maybe 1/8 of an inch offset, because the neck, it's not the right neck. Lots of issues. There's the little wedge I had to make and put in there to make the nut sit flush with the fretboard. There you go. You can see it fits good now. The nut is flush with the fretboard the way it should have been always, all along. I don't know why stewmac cut that slot out like that. Hold on. So there you go, folks. Dang it, Earl. Come on, man. Not while the camera's running. I told you. There you go, folks. Another portion of the show. I guess the next time we might... Still got a lot to do with this guitar. Got to put the tuning machines on it. Ream these out. Set the bridge pins. Got to level all these new frets now. Put the radius in them, crown them, dress them, polish them. That's way down, a lot of work there yet to go. But anyways, we've got this far, and we made pretty good headway tonight. And look who's here. We just heard a cat fight outside, and Lily just came flying in here whenever it happened, jumped up on the back of the chair over there and wanted close to someone she knew she could trust. Did you hear the kitty cats? Did you hear the kitty cats outside? We'll see you again, folks. Let's get jiggy with it. Tell the folks at YouTube, so we don't like kitty cats fighting like that, do we? But we love you. I love you. Say again. What? Oh, I love you. Good. Whoa.